I'm here with JC Clear from Remix Sport Fishing on his beautiful 44 Contender. And if you guys have followed along, we kind of partnered up on this to create the baddest center console on the water for the tournament season and for his charter business. I want to go through the different products that we chose as we built out the boat, get JC's experience and bring you guys along for the whole thing. And we're going to be as authentic as we can about it. So we want to start off here. This whole thing is powered by Mercury Racing. We wanted to create the most powerful boat on the water, and obviously the 500Rs are spectacular, and they just came out when we were building this thing. So JC, go through some of the numbers that you're seeing with this 44 and the 500Rs.
Well, when we first put the boat together, they ran it at Contender with no tower, you know, very, very light, and it was hitting 90, which is a little extreme for a fishing boat, but it was nice to know that it was there. But, you know, after we put the tower and loaded it down with a full crew and bait and ready to go, we're right around 80 miles an hour, which is still way
Crazy.
faster than all the other boats that I've ever been on. You know, as nice as that is, it's fun to do that, but it's really nice to be able to cruise at 60 miles an hour. We fish a lot of tournaments that are, you know, we got to go 70, 80 miles one way. It's much nicer to be able to do that at 60 miles an hour than, you know, 30. So
100%.
They're great. Great
I know
motors.
there's a lot of question out there about the new 500Rs, the reliability and all that. 100% honesty here. What's been your experience with these this year?
There's not one issue we've had with these motors, and over the years, I mean, we've gone through a lot of different motors and a lot of different horsepowers and racing or not racing, but these motors have gone through the entire season and not one issue yet. I mean, they're amazing in my eyes.
Cool. Well, I knew the answer to that question because we spoke about it a little earlier. That's why I wanted to bring it out here. But I know that's a question that a lot of you asked about the 500Rs and this kind of power behind the boat and being new engines. But obviously it seems like, you know, they had the 450Rs, whatever little issues that they had there, they fixed them here. They're constantly learning, constantly improving. And these things have been absolutely ridiculous on this boat. And we appreciate very much the sponsorship with Mercury Marine and the Mercury Racing. This video here is powered by Mercury Marine, Mercury Racing. We got the first 44 Contender with quad 500Rs. And JC, what is the speeds you guys were hitting coming back from that tournament the other day?
Right around 80 miles an hour, and that's, you know, tower, no bottom paint, pretty loaded down tournament-wise. And, you know, with our tournaments, we packed the boat full of people.
Yeah.
People, bait, live wells, drinks. So
that
it's
video
full.
you sent that we posted, I think you were doing 78 miles an hour. And if I remember, you had 9 people on the boat and all the live wells full, and not sure what you had in fuel on the boat, but 78 miles an hour with this full tower is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, she's a beast.
So we're gonna start here. Obviously the quad 500Rs sitting on the transom. You got dual live wells here. What are these, JC?
I think these are 55 gallons each, 2 back here and 1 on the floor.
You guys usually run all these live wells during the tournament? Or
Yeah, during the
tournament?
tournaments, we usually run all 3 of these, probably plus 1 extra one we have in the front. So, you know, we travel with a lot of bait. Each day we probably bring about 400 baits with us. So we spread them out and fill up these wells pretty good. And then we also have 2 more external areas where we put travel wells. So we have 6 locations that we can put live wells on this boat, but typically we use 3 or 4 during the tournament.
Gotcha. And that's all powered here by Best Marine. You got a pretty wicked sea chest right here. Mike and his team do excellent work. I see you have 4 pumps, and I think you mentioned the manifold system to get up to 6.
Yeah, those are 4 3700s in there, and that manifold system is really, you just can't beat it. 1 pump will run all of our wells anytime we need. It's more than enough. One pump, and a lot of times you gotta,
the bow, no problem with the
all the way up to the bow. And a lot of times you have to even turn it down because it's even too much. But what's nice with that manifold is you can send, you know, if something happens to that 1 pump, I mean, you got 3 backups, but also you can send any pump to any well. You know, you're not restricted to, you know, our pump 1 failed, so now we can't use that floor well. You just
gotcha.
Switch
Redirect it from another
yeah,
pump.
redirect it. That whole Best Marine system is unbeatable.
That's amazing. Second boat that you build with this system, obviously very happy with it. Contender also does a great job with their bilge. You got nice access in here. You can jump in there. You put that little non-skid type thing in there just for some traction, but you know, very easy to get in. There's a lot going on in here, but they do a real clean job of laying it out, making it simple to use, and obviously very efficient if you're doing any sort of tournament or offshore fishing.
A lot of boats I've been on, you got to climb down in the bilge and get on your hands and knees to change any kind of overflow or inflow, and basically you have everything that you need right there when you open the hatch, so it's really nice.
Back here in deck, we have 2 large fish boxes, insulated, macerated. Great spot to throw your fish. Obviously you got that port and starboard. And then we'll work our way to the Release Marine rocket launcher. JC, tell me a little bit about this thing.
This thing is kind of our battle station. It's our main area for everything we do. I mean, really everything comes directed right from here. We fish all our rods for our tournaments out of here. It's spread nice. It's got a, you know, like the perfect little arc because we put, you know, probably 4 people behind this thing. So, you know, if it were straight across, you don't really get that much. I guess what I'm trying to say, the angle is a little better when you're fishing
got
with
like a 15-degree angle to, it looks like.
Yeah, so, you know, one person is working this outside rod and it's, you know, got a little angle for them. So it works much better than having it straight. But yeah, it's got a nice tackle drawer, cup holders. We got 6 rod holders there and 2 here. We usually put our 2 electric reels in here. So everything kind of stays nice and compact for us and out of the way. It's been amazing.
Nice distance in between the rocket launcher and the chair. If you want to sit back, obviously when the action is heavy, you're up, you don't want to be sitting, but if you want to take a seat and relax, you know, it's pretty comfortable to tend your lines from right here. And then when you're running long distances, it's a nice wide bench seat, fits 3 people, maybe even 4 with no problem. And it's a pretty comfortable seat, you know, facing the outboards. Huge cooler, insulated underneath. Obviously, it's got some of the remnants from the last tournament. It has a nice, comfortable backrest, and all the upholstery was done by Miami Prestige Interiors. Honestly, one of the best that we've ever come across when it comes to upholstery. Very streamlined, simple, clean, and as you can see, this boat sits in the sunlight, has no ceramic coating or anything, and this stuff looks like it's brand new out of the showroom. And then if we jump up forward to the helm area, you have kind of the mirror image of this, seating for 3, and obviously you can put more people on this if you want, and if you have small children, these little seats here are perfect. Then you have the helm right down the center. Now JC, if you can come in here, explain what you got going on when it comes to the Simrad electronics package and how it's worked for you so far.
They've been great. We got 2 24-inch units down here. We have a 12-inch unit up in the tower, full Simrad VHF, autopilot, basically everything. But it's been amazing the last couple of years. There's actually been a few tournaments I feel like we've won just because of them. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but you know, the depth machine has really been something else for us, and you know, we've been able to mark some fish that we've ended up catching after that, which, you know, usually you don't really mark billfish and catch them except with these, you know, the marlin tournaments and the omni sonar. But sail fishing, I feel like it's pretty tough to do, and we've done it a couple times, so
really
it's been pretty big.
Super nice to have 2 24-inch MFDs right here. I mean, the view from here is phenomenal. It's a good sized console, but you can easily see over this thing. Rounded enclosure, so it's very clean looking. When it's raining, that deflects the water off too. You don't even need like a Rain X or anything like that. And JC, honestly, he's a friend of mine, but I can tell you he's one of the most meticulous people I've ever come across when it comes to charter captains and their boat. This boat has some time on it, but it looks like it came straight out of the showroom. And from what he tells me, these covers have never even come off. So a lot of this stuff is practically brand new. Got an Edson matte black, satin black steering wheel. Got the same thing up top, full JL audio sound system. You're gonna see the speakers throughout the boat, and this thing sounds absolutely ridiculous. So you're not slacking, although it's a tournament machine. You can take this thing out to the sandbar with a family and hold your own. Obviously you got some storage throughout here. I think this switch you said is for the coffin box up front.
Yep.
We'll show you that in a second. One thing I noticed that we missed, coming back real quick, is the pipe welder's tower, which is a must when it comes to JC and his type of fishing. Being able to see, you know, spot sails from that vantage point. I mean, what's the difference? I know you won't run a boat without a tower on it.
Yeah, and for a long time we fished without a tower, and it was virtually impossible. And once you fish with a tower this size or bigger, any type of height advantage is a huge advantage. I mean, it feels like you're cheating sometimes. Just being able to see the fish before, you know, your anglers see them, see the fish when they're tailing. There's just so much more you can see from up there. And when you have, you know, multiple fish hooked up, you can kind of control the situation a lot better with an aerial view than down here in the middle of the mix. But pipe welders, they've probably done 5 or 6 towers for me over the years, and they just hit it on the head every time. So this thing came out perfect.
Just say this boat gets complimented amongst several other contenders. There's quite a few out there with towers, but this one really what pipe welders does. And just so you have an idea, we got the boat with JC from Contender with no top on it, nothing. It's basically, you might have seen the video on our social before of JC with his shirt off running across there, which he's
a rare sighting.
Running red flags all over the place. This whole thing, from the hard top, the piping, the full tower, was designed by pipe welders, and they do a fantastic job. It really makes the boat. And one thing that I forgot to mention as well, JC, when he fishes, spends the entire day up there. And one thing building the last boat was adding a Seakeeper that we were talking about. And now JC, I think, was a little skeptical about it. We put the Seakeeper 3 on it, and ever since, I don't think he'll run a boat without it.
Yeah.
And just imagine when this thing is sliding over. When you're down at deck level, it's noticeable with a Seakeeper, but when you're up there, instead of doing this, you're kind of just going up and down. You're not doing that pendulum swing anymore. So it's such a huge difference to have a Seakeeper on this boat, and we do have a Seakeeper 3 equipped on this one. Now, stepping into the console cabin real quick, I'll jump in so you can take a good look. They have really nice teak accents throughout. They have a head that slides forward. Right now, this is where JC and his team stores their kites, so it's a real nice spot to do it with some Gemlux suction cups. You got a mirror if you need to tidy up your situation. And I want to pull you in here to show you the rigging, which Eric Johnson, good friend of JC's, did. Maybe give me the camera if you want to pull it in here. I know you probably got B-roll over that, but look at this thing. This is a work of art. I can't imagine what it must be like to start a job like this and say that you have to connect all of it. Definitely not my forte, but kudos to Eric and everybody that does this type of rigging. Absolutely gorgeous job, and that's what this 44 has set up. Working our way towards the bow, you have an excellent lounger here. You can fit 2-3 people. Tons of storage underneath. Just check out how nice that is. You obviously have that both port and starboard, and you have a cooler off in the bow. And one thing that's really cool is underneath this, you have a hidden compartment. JC, if you don't mind hitting that, let's check that thing out. So as you see here, it's on actuators. It's kind of a hidden compartment, and you can throw things that you don't need to access very often, but it's a great spot that most people don't even know about. Both port and starboard, you have storage boxes here. These are the connections to the forward well, so they do mount the forward well here. And then check out the size of this fish box here to finish things off in the bow. Absolutely massive. You can stow just about anything in there. Coolers, life jackets, bags, get everything off the deck, keep it clean, and it's just unlimited storage space on this 44. I want to show off the JL Audio speakers. This thing is completely loaded with them, and these are 12-inch subwoofers here, so they throw excellent sound this way, and they plan out the speakers just to be able to bounce that music off. And they even have a couple underneath the tower pods over there, so this thing sounds absolutely incredible. A couple things I hadn't mentioned. Contender 44 has a 12-foot beam. JC, you said like 600 gallons of fuel?
Yeah, 600 gallons of fuel, 12-foot beam, 44 long.
It's a big boat. Absolutely incredible fishing platform, but again, to bring the family out here on a center console is easy and comfortable to do. And I want to show a couple of other things. JC, talk about the lighting a little bit. I know you got a ton of it. We've seen some of your night videos and posts on social media.
Yeah, we have a full Lumitec system. Everywhere you look on this boat, there's some Lumitec lighting. But these razors are absolutely amazing for driving at night. We didn't have them on the last couple boats, but with these, you really don't need too much else. They light up a long way away, every marker, everything there is. We have 2 here. We have Lumitec floodlights forward and aft. And then even in the tower, I don't know if you can see from here, but there's another razor which pipe welders made a custom spot for it, and it's inverted, shining down in the transom. So the amount of light it gives off is ridiculous, but it's extremely nice when we get here early in the mornings and we want to rig everything, and just lights up the whole boat for us.
One thing we haven't mentioned are the Marsh Tacky Outriggers. Pop over here, let's look at these. So we have taco bases on this one. I think, JC, you mentioned that Wes over there didn't have his bases at the time or something.
Yeah,
went with taco.
So he sent us over the taco.
So Marsh Tacky is what JC usually puts on all of his boats, and obviously very easy to deploy. They're internal carbon fiber outriggers, and Marsh Tacky over there does some of the best outriggers and gas that you'll see in the market today. Obviously, easy to see why JC chose those. And another thing I haven't mentioned, there's so many things on this boat, it's tough to get through them all. If you see the drone footage, wraps on right, Jordan and his team did a spectacular wrap on this thing. It has a CCO remix combo that we did with that topography camo. One of the baddest boats on the water and one of the best companies out there when it comes to wraps. So if you buy the boat, I assume you can keep the wrap on it. I don't know, assuming you don't do anything crazy. I guess that'll be JC's decision. Just wanted to mention, you know, wraps on right as well. Excellent partners. Everybody that had a part on this boat was purposely chosen. Thankfully, we deal with a lot of companies, and JC's been through them all. So everything on this boat is the best of the best because it was chosen, cherry-picked to build the baddest center console on the water. And I think, you know, this was achieved. And, you know, these guys have won a ton of tournaments, have done excellent both on the tournament circuit and chartering. If you want to charter a boat out here of Bayshore Landing in Coconut Grove, Remix Sport Fishing is the way to go. Reach out if you want some more information.
Definitely give me a call. On, you know, you can DM us on Instagram, or my personal cell is 305-726-6697. Feel free to give me a call.
We'll keep an eye on the comments below as well of the video. Looking forward to speaking with you all. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us to go through the boat. Thank you again to everyone that worked with us on this beauty, and we look forward to the next one.